let me thank you for inviting me for this meeting, which is very important in the current times, which is an extremely crucial meeting in the current times. Let me at the outset say that the issue right now is not whether you ideologically support PFI or not. That's not the issue. I personally do not support the PFI ideologically, but the issue is not that. I do not support RSS, but that doesn't mean I'll call for a ban of RSS. So the question today is not about whether you support the ideology of a particular organization or not. You may oppose, you may partly agree, partly disagree. These things happen with various organizations. I think the issue right now is that there is a ban culture and a censor culture which is growing in our country at the instance of the present government, the central government I'm talking about. And I think we need to be very clear that we need to oppose that. Now, coming to the, I mean, that's the larger issue. The larger issue is that PFI ban is not a standalone issue. It's an issue which is part of a larger movement of the central government, its right-wing politics, etc., etc. It's a part of the larger movement. And so we have to look at it from the point of view of it being an instance of how the government is doing two things. One, curbing all kinds of dissent. And two, especially trying to attack or sending a message to the Muslims that we will not allow you to have any kind of representation or voice of your own. These are the two things. This is what they did in Kashmir, 370. This is what they're trying to do in the CA, NRC. This is what they do when they pass various laws concerning, the cow slaughter and anti-conversion laws. And this is how the executive functions on a daily basis when, a lot of lynchings, etc. happen. So we have to see the PFI ban as an instance of an ongoing assault on democratic rights of the people. It's an instance of an ongoing assault. And it is for that reason that we need to oppose the ban on PFI. Now, please remember, there are two or three issues which I just wanted to highlight. That this has been banned as an unlawful organization for 5 years under the UAPA. Okay? Under the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act 1967, this has been banned. Now, there are two kinds of bans which can be brought about under the UAPA. One is banning an organization by a government notification for a period of 3 years, 5 years, etc. And the second is by banning it, by including it in the schedule to the act, by branding it as a terrorist organization. Okay. What has happened here is the first. What has happened as far as the PFI is that they have treated it not as a terrorist organization and not branded it as a terrorist organization by putting it in the schedule, but treating it as an unlawful organization which is carrying out unlawful activities. And on that basis, they have banned it. That's point number one. So the ban is as an unlawful association, not as a terrorist organization. Though, of course, in their talk, they keep on talking about terrorist activities. They are doing this, they are doing that, etc., etc. But legally, that is a ban. Second thing, which I wanted to say, was that ordinarily under the Act, Unlawful Activities Act, if you are banning an organization as an unlawful organization, unlawful association, you have to first refer the matter to a tribunal. Only if the tribunal agrees that it should be banned, after hearing everybody, after hearing even the prospectively banned organization, can the government ban this organization? This is not what has happened here because they've used what is known as an emergency clause. So normally you can't ban an organization unless you refer the matter of its banning to a tribunal. The tribunal approves it, only then you can ban it. Okay? And before the tribunal approves, you have a right to be heard, etc. That organization has a right to be heard, etc., etc. Only then you can, ban it. But there is an emergency clause which says that if there is an emergency, then the government can ban it first with immediate effect and then refer the matter to tribunal. So now what they've done is they've used the emergency clause. I do not understand what is the so-called great emergency, even if you want to take action against a particular organization. What is the great emergency in, declaring it as an unlawful association without first referring it to a tribunal? So now what they've done here is they've already banned the organization, and now they've appointed a Delhi High Court judge to be the head of the tribunal, which will then go into the issue of whether the ban is right or wrong. Now, the same thing had happened with Simi. Simi was banned. Then the matter was taken to tribunal after the ban. The tribunal, in fact, decided in favor of Simi, saying that the ban was unlawful. The government took it to Supreme Court. Supreme Court has granted stay, and the stay is pending since years together. Nothing has happened to that case. So even when the tribunal decides in your favor, that which had happened in the case of Simi, the Supreme Court has stayed that order. So the ban continues. The third thing which we must be wary of as far as this particular notification is concerned is a notification not only bans PFI, but bans certain frontal organization of PFI. Okay. Some of the frontal organizations are named. The other frontal, one doesn't even know whether they are frontal organization or not, but they're branded as frontal organizations and they are named. The other organizations are not named. Okay, in the sense they say that we are banning the we are banning the frontal organization including A, B, C, D, E. Okay, but they don't say that these are the only organizations they are banned. So this we faced in the this problem we faced in the Bhima Koregaon case, some of which I am handling, some of those cases which I am handling, where all these Gautam Naulaka and Sudha Bharadwaj and Baravara Rao and all were arrested. In that case, the ban is to CPIML. It's a terrorist organization and its frontal organization. Now they never notified which are the frontal organizations. So when they filed affidavits and when they filed charge sheets, they suddenly said that Kabir Kawala Manch is a frontal organization, CPDR is a frontal organization. In fact, in one of the affidavits, they said PUCL is a frontal organization, which means what? They are banned. Okay. Of course, that as far as PUCL is concerned, they have not moved forward and they've then not gone ahead with that affidavit. But various other organizations. So you don't even know whether you are part of an organization which is banned or not till you are in jail. Okay. And then you will be told you are part of this organization, which is a frontal organization, so you're banned. So this is the third aspect of the notification, which is something which we have to be very, very careful about. I personally feel, okay, that while I may not agree with the ideology of PFI, I think it is a right to exist. Okay, as long if it is committing any offenses, if it is committing any crimes, you punish them for those crimes, those individual crimes. You're most welcome to punish a person for an individual crime which they commit or an organization for a crime which it commits. You cannot just go around banning organizations. And here in this particular case, I feel that the ban is done essentially to send out a message to Muslims that none of your voice will not be taken into account under any circumstances. We have done that with Kashmir, we have done that with CA, NRC, and we are doing it with this. We will not. The same thing happened with, as you know, the Delhi riots. The same thing happened with what is happening in CA, NRC in Assam. Same thing there. It's a continuation of the same thing. So it's a larger phenomena which we need to oppose. I am personally opposed to UAPA per se. I personally feel that UAPA should go completely, lock, stock, and barrel. It's an oppressive, draconian legislation whose only purpose is to keep people behind bars or ban organizations without giving any proof as to why they are being banned, as it has happened in PFI. That overnight you ban an organization, you arrest 100 people, 150 people. Those people will languish in jail for a long time. At the end of it, they will be acquitted. Possibly they will be discharged. The whole purpose of these kind of draconian laws is not to control some terrorist situation. The whole purpose is to keep people behind bars, keep dissenters behind bars, keep anybody who is opposing you behind bars for years together. Okay? And then maybe, and by keeping the leading voices behind bars, you are having a chilling effect on everybody else. You are telling everybody that if we can do it to your leaders, just imagine what we can do it to you. That's the message being sent out by these kind of bans. And that is why I think as democratic rights organization, we are, I think as a democratic rights organization, we should be opposed to any kind of bans, but more so this kind of a ban, which is meant for targeting a particular community, and which is basically a ban which is to be seen in a larger context of anti-dissent activities of the state. So I think I'll stop there. That is what I wanted to say, that we need to oppose this. We need this ban. Okay? As society rights organization, any curtailment of freedom of speech and association should be opposed. If a particular organization or a group is committing a crime, you punish them for that particular crime. You cannot punish somebody for their ideology. Tomorrow you will say that because you believe in, say, a communist ideology, or because you believe in Ambedkarite ideology, you will by believing in that ideology, you are committing a crime, and therefore you can be put behind bars. So I am of the opinion that we have to oppose this ban. We have to oppose UAPA. And we have to also oppose the fact that this ban was imposed without first referring the matter to the tribunal. These are the things I think which we need to be clear about. Thank you very much.